Thank you for tuning in to Global Elite Academy. If you are interested in opening up a non medical home health agency, please go to globaleliteacademy.net. That's globaleliteacademy.net. Please press subscribe and share this audio with someone who you may think need it. And press like. Okay, so today we're going to talk about opening your non-medical home health agency in Arizona. Now, in Arizona, they don't, in Arizona is non-regulated. So you do not need a license to open up a non-medical home health agency in Arizona. But there's some other things that you need to do because you want to be a reputable agency. They do take IHSS applications, so you can apply for IHSS. Now, their IHSS is called the Arizona Health Care Cost Containment System. And it's like the abbreviation for that is AHCCCS providers. You could go to their website and enroll or fill out an application. And when you fill the application, it's going to take a couple of months, and then they will approve you or deny you to start taking non-medical home health patients, which are IHSS patients. Again, listen to some of the previous audios will tell you about IHSS. It's a community-based program that's paid for by Medicaid. The other thing that you need to do, because you want to make sure that your agency is reputable. And how do you do that when it's a non-medical, when the city is unregulated? You want to join the Arizona In-Home Care Association. And they have different things that you need to do as an agency in order to be looked upon as reputable. Like, for instance, they're going to require that you have a policy and procedure manual, where if you're just, opening up yourself, and because it's not regulated, you probably wouldn't get one, but you need to have one. I had somebody call me who was getting an agency from there, and she didn't have a policy and procedure manual because she was thinking, why does she need it? You need that for your employees so they will know what the different policies are in your company. Like, they don't know what your policies are unless you have a policy and procedure manual explaining that. So, anyway, you would go to their website, the Arizona In-Home Care Association, and apply for membership. And let me see if I can look that up right now to see how much the membership is, because I'm on that website. So let's see if they if they let me know. Okay, so the membership dues are $150 a year. That's not bad. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, that's wrong. The annual membership dues for businesses and association members are $400. The membership is processed on a 12-month cycle. For those applying as an individual member, the membership dues are $150 a year. So you're going to be applying for your agency, which would be $400 a year. Now, again, this is just something to keep you to join this. Is something to keep you regulated. Um, Something that you can report to. If you the states that have home health agency where it's not regulated, you could just open up agency, like, and take people money, don't give them service. It's a lot of unscrupulous things you could do when you're in a city that has no regulation. So it's very important that you want to be reputable. You don't want people to think that you're just a cracker box business. You want to always let them know that you conduct your business in a professional manner. And if you don't know anything about opening up an agency, then it would be better to be under a company, not a company, but an association that can give you these guidelines to tell you what the policy and procedures are. And that gives you that kind of a seal of approval that you're reputable when you join some form of association. And this association in Arizona, that's where people seem to be joining, because there's, different, you could join an accredited association as well that'll make you be, reputable. And I'll tell you about the accredited associations later. They're definitely more expensive. But this one is local, it's an association. All of the agencies that are reputable in the area seem to join this, and $400 a year as a business is nothing. You'll get that money back from your first client. The other thing is that a lot of people think if a company is not, if an agency, if it's not an accredited location, then, it's hard to get clients, but it's not. That's why you have to associate yourself with some type of association so that you can look professional. Now, when you go into Arizona, the only thing, because it's not regulated, like I said, the only thing you need to do is go to Arizona Secretary of State and register your business name. If you want to be a corporation, it'll show you once you get to the website, where you go to sign up for a corporation or LLC. But you first have to register your business name at the Secretary of State, Arizona Secretary of State. So that's the first thing you have to do, is register your trade name. And then, like I said, it'll lead you from here where you go, because you go to another location to open up, to do your corporation, if you want to do a corporation. If you're having an agency, let's say you have an agency in Colorado, which is accredited, and you just want to have another agency in Arizona, then you don't have to you're already registered. Your headquarters, which would be in, let's say, Colorado, is already registered as a corporation. So you would not have to re-register that again in Arizona. You're just registering the company's name with, the location, the headquarter location, and all that information when you fill out the form. Okay? So as you can see, all of these states, or the ones that I've told you so far, IHSS is called something different in every state. You have to look it up and see what it's called. So if you want to know if California, like for instance, have IHSS, then you can Google that. You could Google it and say, what is the IHSS? What is it named? No, well, you could say, first of all, is there an IHSS in California? And it'll come back yes, and then you can ask, what is the name in California? A lot of times it'll come back, though, and tell you yes and what the name is in that area. But don't forget, you want to always sign up for that IHSS, because, it's going to help you get the patients that can't afford non-medical private pay, or the patients who don't have long-term insurance. So you want to always sign up for that. Let me see. I think that's about all for Arizona. You want to get your policy and procedure manual, and then you also need to get a manual for IHSS if you're going to have, if you're going to also, which I recommend you to fill out the application for IHSS. You'll need that manual. I'll give you information later on if you wanted to purchase a IHSS. Well, I can give it to you now. If you wanted to purchase a IHSS policy and procedure manual, or if you wanted to purchase just your regular non-medical home care policy and procedure manual, we can make that for you. The policy and procedure manual is $2,000, and the IHSS manual is $650. And you could go to globaleliteacademy.net. I don't think it's listed on there. It's listed on there, how do you get the policy and procedure manual if you're taking a course. If you're not taking a course, it doesn't explain how to get it. So just give us a call, and somebody will help you get that. It's very easy to buy a policy and procedure manual online, but you want to get the one that makes sure, for your area, that it's the correct one. And they all run about the same, $2,000. The IHSS manual, you're not going to be able to find that online. They're just, they haven't, I guess somebody has not came up with the brilliant idea to just sell them yet. So that's going to be a little bit harder to find. But we do have it, or we can make one for you. Okay, so that is how you open a non-medical home health agency in Arizona. Thanks so much for tuning in. See you next week.